Hello and welcome back to another Too Slow For You unboxing and overview. Today I have the Dahle 166 to look at, so let's go ahead and unbox that and take a look. So as we can see here, this one comes with a 2-year warranty. The 155 didn't say it did, but the 133, I believe, said it did. It says it'll take 8 to 12 millimeter pencils. It looks like it's got the same kind of mechanism as the 155. Product code. Alright. It's nice and easy. Looks like 2 steps to remove that. So let's take a look at what they're talking about. So the box is divided up. We've got this spot here that holds the stem, which is nice that it's not the stem, what is this called? My mind blanked. The table clamp, sorry. It keeps it from hitting the sharpener, which I think is nice. Even if it was just sitting in there. But then we've got the actual sharpener here. Bag is taped closed. Now this one looks to be a little nicer than the other ones I've unboxed. There's still some markings on it that I don't know if they'll come across on camera or not. Ah, that's what it was saying. So to take this mechanism out, it looks like you have to unscrew that in order to pull it out. So I'm probably not going to do that. We'll just kind of take a look at it from under here. Looks like, again, we're metal into plastic. This one does move much better than the 155 did. There's no hang-ups anywhere that I feel. Looking at the plastic in here, there's quite a few markings. Yeah, there you go. You can see it in the light reflection there. Not really going to affect the way it works or anything. I like this plastic face up here. I think it's got that faux leather look that I kind of like. So we'll go ahead and put this back together. Huge bin, lots of storage. I don't think there's any way those shavings can miss falling in the bin. We've got our adjuster here on the back. All the way to the right is going to be that dull point or blunt point. And then all the way to the left is going to be the sharp. It looks like this doesn't stay open, but it is one-handed. I gotta figure out how this mechanism works. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy enough. So, slide this forward, push the button down. Very easy one-handed operation. I like that actually quite a bit. It does take a little bit of dexterity, unless you use 3 fingers, just to kind of roll the finger up on top. So, up on top and then down to open that. But let's go ahead and stick a pencil in there. It's got all these metal teeth. Probably going to mar up the pencil. There are quite a few more metal teeth, so maybe they're not as tight on the pencil. Maybe with more of them they'll grip a little easier and not chew it up as bad. But yeah, so got the pencil in there, got it clamped. I feel like I did something wrong. Let off the button. There we go. So that's going to take some getting used to, that mechanism. Because you don't want to let it slide before you clamp. Otherwise, you're not going to get the pencil sharpened. Okay, so this is supposed to be the blunt tip. And Yes, it is indeed a very blunt tip. So let's go ahead and do, let's say, there where that's just poking out a little. Put that back in. It is plastic housing, plastic pretty much everywhere. There's this piece that's metal. I think it's part of the latching mechanism. It's actually, here it is. It's part of this, so that's a pin that's going through this centerpiece, holding down the mechanism here. So when you press this button, that's what's, we can see it moving there. So that's what's holding that in place. So got a little more, not much. We'll go ahead and do the full tip, which isn't too much more. And again, I did the okay, so we're not sharpening on one side, which seems to be a common occurrence. Looking at the overall length, it doesn't look like we ate any excess of the pencil at all. So that's good. It's not just going to chew through pencils, at least not with the HB setting. We'll try a Ticonderoga, and then we will check for teeth markings, which I do see some on the one pencil. So it does get hung up a little bit when it's getting close to being done sharpening. That one did a much better job of sharpening around the entire pencil. It's not nearly as long of a point as you get on many of the other sharpeners I've looked at. And then I also noticed while sharpening on that one, if we look here, this whole thing can shift some. And it doesn't take a ton of force to get it to shift, just the weight from me doing that was enough. Non-slip pad, which is nice, or non-marring pad. I don't think that's going to stop it from slipping. It's just kind of a, it's not silicone, it's a foam pad, so that's just to keep it from scratching. It's not really going to stop it from sliding. Let's go ahead and take a look at these pencils up close. See the teeth marks. So I was wrong in my guess that they weren't going to mar it up real bad. Looks like they actually chewed in pretty decently. But looking at the tip of the pencil here, we do have a very nice round cone. The tip looks very nice. Back to this one. It looks like it didn't do a great job on the one side, but it did fine on the other. And we're mostly even across here. There's all the different teeth marks from the way I was letting the button go and slide across the pencil. So let's go ahead and we'll break this piece of lead and do a little resharpen. Can't break off much because it's supported by the wood on the backside. So one thing I have to work on is making sure I let go of the button while bracing it. So I think 3-finger approach is probably the best with this one. Otherwise, when you let go of the button, it slides and then really digs in because it's got the sliding pressure on top of the clamping force. So it's kind of going at an angle, hitting it and really digging in. Okay. So then on the resharpen tip, it looks like it's doing much more evenly. I think that was interesting. I don't know why it got hung up there. This metal pin does seem like it can slide in and out. I don't know if maybe it caught in here or what, but that was weird. But anyway, back to the pencil. I think if you go from a blunt to an extremely pointy tip or opposite ends of the spectrum on the sharpener, you're going to end up with wood casing on one side, all graphite on the other, which I don't think is a big issue, especially if you don't rotate your pencil when writing. It'll keep everything on the one side and it'll give you some extra backing to press down against. I'm going to try and recreate that hang up and see if I can figure out why it did it. As for the inside of the pencil sharpener, there are some shavings in the back, as you can see, but I also was flipping the sharpener around and doing all sorts of stuff with it. So most likely from that. I'll blow it out like I just did, and then I will sharpen another pencil and we'll see if we have the same results or not. If you watch this here while I'm sharpening, you can see it move in and out some. I'll try to zoom in on it. Yeah, you can see it pull out, push in, out, in. It closed like we wanted it to. And we got a decent tip. So we'll try it on the Ticonderoga again. This pin does look like it started to push out again. Now it's flush. Don't really think it's going to fall out. I think it just likes to go this way just a hair. We'll watch here again. And it shut like it was supposed to. And we've got our tip the way we were expecting. You're not going to get super long tips out of the sharpener is what it looks like, but you are going to get fairly even tips on the sharpest setting. Looks like there's some gunk that got caught up on the teeth. But let's go ahead, we'll pull that out. Look in there. Got a couple shavings in the bottom, but not near like before. So I do think a lot of that was from me flipping the sharpener around while it had stuff in it, and then it would catch on these ledges inside here and fall. But trying to look, I don't think. Yeah, there's no way to take this out. Sorry. There's no way to take out the sharpening mechanism without taking out the screw in the back. So that would be why it's flexing, is because that screw is the anchor point for the whole thing. And even though it is inside, locked in there as well, there's still wiggle room up and down for the sharpener to move. So that's why we're seeing that when we're sharpening go in and out. Overall, I like the design of the sharpener. I do think that this is a pretty cool mechanism. I like Dahle's push buttons. I think they're nice. Definitely different from everyone else's squeezers at the top. But again, it's still going to mar up your pencils, and it does feel like a huge improvement over the 155. But I think for personal home use, I would still recommend the 133. I still think that this one, I put it back in the box, is a better deal for what you're getting. If you do any posting of photos or anything and you want a sharpener that's not going to mar up your pencils, I recommend it, or something like the Uni KH-20. These do come with a warranty, which is nice. Like I said, I like the old look if you're into like the dev setups where you've got the black and beige keyboards and mice and that kind of thing. This would look right at home on your desk. These retail for $25 to $30, I believe. There is a catch right there. I see what's happening. So that's what it caught on earlier. It caught on the corner of this. So it looks like it's slightly uneven there across the base. You can see that there's a little bit of a slope that way. And I don't think there's any way to fix that. But that is what that caught on earlier. So I don't know. I just happened to push it up to where it caught, or how exactly that happened. But anyway, that is my overview. Thanks for watching. Sorry it was such a long video and I got distracted during it. But I hope you enjoy this. I believe this is my last desktop sharpener, at least in the hand crank variety. I've got a couple of electric sharpeners that I'm going to review. I've got an X-Acto Mighty Mite that you can pick up at Walmart, and a Boss Stitch Quiet Sharp that you can also pick up at Walmart. And then after I get through those, I'm going to move on to hand sharpeners and some 2mm lead sharpeners. And then from there, I'm not sure yet. Maybe we'll move into some pens. But thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, leave some comments. Have a good one. See y'all next time.